hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's going on, Entertainment? So time come to y'all with another video. Should I do a Real Housewives of Atlanta intro? Like, I already have my tagline. Okay? I don't ever get on my knees, but I am the bee's knees. Da-da-da-da. Like, you feel me? Like, I should do an intro. I should really do an intro. I'm thinking about it. If y'all say yes enough, y'all know me. I'm going to do it. Okay? Now, the episode starts off with them eating breakfast or whatever. At this point, I feel like Cynthia is over these girls. She is over them complaining. She's over them whining about the littlest, dumbest of stuff, which I'm all on Cynthia's side because the stuff that the girls used to deal with back in the days compared to the stuff they complain about now, please, these girls will never survive season 5 through 9. These girls will quake. Even you, K. Michelle. I'm sorry. These girls will quake because some of the stuff that they're arguing and complaining about is so trivial versus what they used to have to deal with. So Pinky's eating breakfast with Shamia, then Drew joins, and basically Drew kind of tries to check her about her friend Angela a little bit, right? And then Pinky has this tendency. She controls the conversation in anything that she's having an argument with somebody about. I realize this. Like, she's a great person to argue with because she teaches you how to basically align yourself and control the argument or conversation. Because if you let her, she gonna take it and run with it and make it her conversation. Okay, so Drew wasn't really too much feeling what happened between her and Angela, and Pinky at this point, she said she don't really give a crap, and it is what it is. So Shamia and Drew end up having like this fake makeup. To be honest, some people will never get along. Shamia will never get along to me with Drew, and to me, Shamia is a little fake because you talking about, are you, this is Pinky and stuff. Oh, you gonna check out her movie? You know, yeah, I will. No, you won't. You didn't even know what Dynasty was. What is gonna make us think that you're gonna check out a movie with Drew Sidora? And I heard somebody in the comments said that she did not die within the first 10 seconds. So Bravo, please stop shading us black girls, the black girls, okay? Can y'all stop us? They go through enough with these seasons and these shows. The last thing they need is for you guys to freaking, you feel me, make them a mockery with the amount of stuff they even have to accuse each other of. Finger popping and sleeping with married men and some more stuff. Come on now. So Cynthia is funny. She splits the girls apart. She takes Shamia and Kelly. I feel like she did that so she could see if they're going to continue to talk crap. That Cynthia is smart. You know, it's crazy. When Nene used to say, that's Cynthia, do not let her ever fool you that she's soft and all that. Yes, she's not. Like, she's very strategic and she's very smart because she thought like, oh, I'm not going to separate them because if I separate them, they finna start talking crap and I'm not going to be there to defend myself. So she said, y'all going to come with me. I said, I know that's right. I like Cynthia for that. That's a smart girl. Like, she's really, really smart for doing that. K. Michelle and Portia and Phaedra are separated and they end up meeting up or whatever, and they start talking about how aggressive Pinky is. And Phaedra was like, you know, that damn Pinky, you talk regular, but Pinky tone is like, ah! That is so true. Pinky is very masculine. She is. She has very masculine energy. Okay. But K. Michelle is, of course, going to defend her because that's her Sarah. Sarah! She's going to defend her Sarah. So it didn't really surprise me, her having Pinky's back so hard. Phaedra says, I know, like, she basically feels as if Pinky needs to, like, lower her octave or whatever and talk, like, a little bit lower. And I do agree with that because it's like, not everybody's going to take that. That's like with New York people. Like, not everybody is keen to New York people. So, like, you're going to have to, like, pipe down shoddy because it's like, nobody just going to be okay with you doing and just doing all of that. Okay? Well, I look good. I don't like to toot my own horn a lot, but you know what I do. Anyway, Angela says she doesn't give a crap about her octave and she's going to come back harder and match her energy. Okay. And to be honest, that read that her and Pinky had, a lot of people are not, to me, embracing it enough and they're not giving it enough props because it hasn't had time to really cook. Once it has time to really cook, that's when we're really going to appreciate that read that Pinky and Angela gave us. Okay, it was very, very good. Congratulations to them both. This read will go down in history books. A lot of people are kind of, putting it down, but some people are giving this props that it deserves. But I think it was a good one. I'm sorry. And Angela took the W for that one for me. Okay. Now, Kelly ends up clocking Drew or whatever when they get on the bus because they bring up this whole situation with the room again. This is Kelly, Shamia, Cynthia, and Drew in one bus or whatever, and one limo going there. They end up bringing the situation with the room because they still want the room to be clean or whatever, right? And when she starts addressing it, Drew kind of like rolls her eyes and cocks her neck because we get the point, but constantly hearing about it, I would get annoyed too. I hate hearing about a situation over and over. I get irritated. Okay. So she's like, why you cocking your neck over there, Drew? And she's called her something. She said, oh, she ugly like the alien. Child, Drew said, you misproportion. Why? I saw on Twitter, they said Kelly be dressing like she going to the Corn Star Awards. And then they showed pictures of her. Twitter is so unserious because the way that Kelly does dress, she really does dress like she's about to like accept an award for like best, blow bang. You know what I'm saying? Best anal. You know what Cordelia said on Bad Girls Club? I love anal. Okay, it gives that. It does. It really does. She really does dress like that, though. I'm not gonna lie. Like, she really, really does dress like that. After that happens, we end up seeing Kelly talk about how, she would want her accommodations like a certain way or whatever. And Cynthia was like, I really didn't mean it like on purpose or whatever. It was really an accident. Had I did triple check, y'all probably wouldn't let that. I wouldn't have let that slide or whatever. They stressed Cynthia out so bad. She asked for a drink. I never, on my decade of watching Housewives, Atlanta to be exact, ever seen Cynthia ask for a drink. Y'all really irritating her because she don't argue with Nene and Samoish, and I never seen her say, please, can I have another shot? I barely even see Cynthia drink like that. So please, that's the one person I don't want y'all to stress out. You know what I'm saying? Cynthia never be stressed out like this. So y'all ain't clock how Cynthia don't really like Shamia though. She basically was telling her to hush up every 2 seconds because Shamia has this thing where she wants to interject so much. She's like, I'm talking to Shamia. I'm talking to Kelly. Once again, I'm talking to Kelly. Okay. I'm like, oh, well, Shamia, she don't too much favor you too much. And I peeped that. Okay. So then on the other bus, they start talking about Black. This is how I feel about K Michelle on the show. K Michelle has suffered so much trauma from being on Love Hip Hop and living in Atlanta for as long as she has. It's to the point where she's starting to become delusional. This Black situation, she is blowing way out of proportion. Drew is barely talking about it. That's how you know it's not a big deal. You literally have the problem more than Drew has. Drew has never brought up K Michelle in Black outside of that one situation where she says, oh, you're familiar with him, or he's familiar with you, and she pointed. And she wasn't doing it in a rude way like this. So it's like, K Michelle, stop the dramatics. She is very disappointing so far in this season. And it's like, it hurts me to say it, but it is. She has. Like, come on. Like, this lady is not making a big deal about it. So why are you making it a big deal about it? It gives that you are fishing for a little bit of story. She did not try to insinuate anything that you were doing anything with that man. Okay? Now, on the other bus, Black gets brought up, but nothing to do with K Michelle. I hope K Michelle is watching this and realizing how she was doing too much. And Drew is basically saying how she loves her some Black. I said, oh, she loves her some Black smoke and his Black spray on his head. Okay. And she really feeling him and all these things. The girls are kind of gagging because she said the word love. Everybody say love. Okay. Now, Phaedra takes the girls to this thing called a Versage or Versage, something like this, with like an Italian twist. By the time they got out there, the horse was seconds away from whooping the girls' asses. That horse, the girls all ran. The equestrian lady said, who's gonna hop on the horse first? None of the girls hopped on there. So literally that was a waste of time. Y'all might as well have just stay home and turn on a movie about horses. Okay. Because all y'all did was just look at the horse. They wore heels. Some of the girls, Angela gonna wear heels where she going on dirt and tearing. Like, it don't make no sense. Okay. The lady had a thick accent, which I think was funnier when she was asking the girls if they wanted to ride their horse or not. So the other girls go on like a horse and see, and that was a little bit of a waste of time too because it was very quick. Okay. Then they head to a restaurant. And this restaurant, you guys, it's not a vegan restaurant. It's just a regular restaurant. That Cynthia is diabolical. Shout out to Cynthia. Cynthia went to this restaurant. They did not serve not a lick of vegan food. And she confronts Pinky about being super aggressive. To be honest, Cynthia had every right to check Pinky because sometimes Pinky has a teacher mentality where she feels like she has to teach. Everything isn't a seminar. You do not have to teach every conversation. So Cynthia at this point was like, you need to check your attitude because some of us, we're going to come right back to you with it. I said, y'all know Cynthia was over it. Cynthia is really checking the girls. I said, wow, I didn't expect all this out of Cynthia. Cynthia gets my props this season. Every episode, I'm giving out a golden peach. Cynthia gets the golden peach for me, literally. Okay, Cynthia really made sure to let these girls know I'm not playing with y'all. Stop playing in my face. I'm not one of them. Leave me alone. Straight up. Okay, and I appreciated that about her. Okay, now Kelly, after this, like when they went to the restaurant, whatever, when the waiter comes in and say, "Hey, what do you guys want?" She like, "Well, this isn't a vegan restaurant, so they're not gonna have anything I want." And she orders fries. Why Cynthia gonna say, "Oh, child, it's hard to stay committed to this vegan stuff, child." I'm sorry, that was so funny to me because I'm like, you did that on purpose. She like, oh, you want to talk your crap? I'm gonna take you to a restaurant and see how vegan you really are. See if you order some meat, okay? Which, by the way, I saw a discourse online. They said a real vegan would not order from a restaurant that serves meat because they would not financially put money in their pockets, basically, to keep funding the meat buying. So I said, oh, now I'm no vegan because I do a lot of things with meat. No shade. You get what I'm saying? The meat comes in and out of me in more than one ways. So I wouldn't be able to speak on that. But for the vegans in the comments, please let me know. Is there a vegan book of law that we need to know? We need to ask Lisa Vanderpump. Okay. The Yulin Festival vibes. Okay. Now, Cynthia to me had every right to check her once again. And I think Pinky realized, like, oh shoot, like I'm rubbing some of these girls the wrong way. By the way, don't get me wrong, I do like Pinky. I just feel like she needs to like adjust her approach in certain situations because not everybody takes well to that type of attitude. I used to work with a girl just like Pinky. Like it takes adjusting to them. Like you got to get in the right mood to be around them because it. Whew. So Kelly ends up meeting with Pinky and they start talking and relating before they went out or whatever, and they're basically talking about how both of them are moms and they don't got time for the BS. And she like, some of them, they gotta lay on their back and all that. Excuse me, how did y'all get them kids? Because Pinky, I know you got by like 3 and counting, and I think by like 4 or something like that. Did they pop up in the air? No, you laid your back. And Kelly, you laid on your back. I have a homegirl who told me she lives in Atlanta. This is allegedly. She told me that Kelly B, she be having the niggas. Now I don't know if they're married or not, but this allegedly, they told me she be having the niggas. Like every time they see her, she had the niggas. That's what they done told me. That's what the people in them just say. I swear to God. Okay. What can Michelle say? I swear from crackers and cheese. I do. But that's what I heard. Okay. Now, all the girls hop on this party bus or whatever, and that's when the drama starts to unfold. K Michelle gets props from Shamia because she gives her props for opening up to the group of girls or whatever, and due to her past with, Love Hip Hop and everything. I kind of roll my eyes at this because I still feel like she's kind of closed off to the girls. Now, I will say I agree with something that she says on the next episode. I saw a sneak peek. She said this is a dangerous environment. It is to me very dangerous. Anything you say on this type of show and anything that you do can be used against you. So it is very dangerous. Things can be applied about you. You can end up facing legal actions because the feds start watching these shows and they're trying to arrest big people, a big name, so they could get a case down and all that. So it's like, it is a very dangerous platform. So she's not lying about that. But I just wish K Michelle would stop creating problems out of nothing. That to me is where I find the issue. Next, we have Kelly and Portia start going at it. Apparently, because this whole married man thing is brought up, Phaedra knows the married woman of the guy that is being alleged to have slept with Kelly. Phaedra is a dangerous person. I don't care what nobody says. Why are you protecting him because they have a family? You as a woman should tell the other woman what their nigga is doing. That's up for them to believe it or not. But if you was a true friend to the couple, especially to the woman, you should have told her that her nigga is cheating on her. But Phaedra not a girl's though. That's to really keep it a buck. That's a man's girl. That Phaedra's a man's girl. I don't know why I don't see through that. I see straight through that. Oh, Jesus. I see straight through that. She's a guy's girl. To me, that I couldn't believe she said that. I'm like, you shouldn't have just kept quiet about that. I would have I don't know. I just feel like that was wrong. You being married yourself to Phaedra at one point, and you know how it feels, and you keeping it a secret. If I was a married friend of hers, I'd have to cut her off because I'm gonna think you talking about me. Then they start going at it, and then here come Portia. You tried to scissor me and finger pop me and all that. Now I was slowly but surely starting to believe this married man thing, but now I really don't believe it at all. Because Portia, why are you just not saying this? And also, didn't you accuse Candy of trying to eat your box, or her trying to eat your box and all this type stuff? And then you said you wasn't into that and all that, and now you're a full-blown lesbian. Like, Portia to me is very unbelievable. Like, I don't believe a lot of things that come out that lady mouth. She just be throwing stuff in the air and hoping to stick on the wall. You lied on Fallon because she proved receipts with that. Like, I don't know. I don't believe it. We gonna have to see concrete proof, and not just word of mouth before I believe it. Okay? Because I don't know Kelly to be a liar, but we know you, Portia, to be a plenty of liars. So I'm only going off of what I've seen so far. Okay? Let me know what y'all think down below about this episode. This season, I feel like I'm very enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. Okay? Let me know what y'all think, and we have babies.